Ahora es momento de ver la entrevista que nuestro querido Jorge Roy le hizo a Jennifer Lopez a propósito de su más reciente película Imparable, que está basada en la historia real de Anthony Robles, un luchador que nació con una sola pierna y logró superar todos los obstáculos para ganar un campeonato nacional de lucha libre universitaria. Vamos a ver.
What's missing? If I win, having one leg won't be the most important thing about me.
Hi,
Jennifer. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm really excited to be talking to you. So I'm going to try to keep calm and ask you about the movie. First, I want to know, how does it feel to work alongside the real life Judy Robles and to be able to tell her story on the big screen?
You know, it was a real honor, because once I got to know Anthony's story, and really when I read the script, I thought this is Anthony's story. But once I got to meet Anthony and know Judy, I realized it was both of their stories. And that there was a real beautiful thing to tell about not just mothers and sons, but of overcoming things as a family, which I think is a real key to the movie and what makes it such a great watch for the families in the holiday season, because it really leaves you inspired and realizing that the strength that we all can get can be from our family unit, even if it's difficult, even if it's challenged. So that was a really beautiful thing for me to be able to be a part of.
And Jarrell described you as one of the coolest mom ever. So I want to know, how would you describe him as a son?
Oh, he's fantastic. He's very loving. He says he's a mama's boy, even in real life. And one of the most important things for us, I think, once we met Judy and Anthony, and he had been with them for months before I even came onto the project, is that bond had to exist. And so he was open to that, and he was like, absolutely, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I was like, that to me is the key to this, is the two of them and how they inspire each other.
Okay. And how did you approach the challenge of playing a mom that she tries to be strong for her children, but at the same time, she's at her most vulnerable?
Yeah, it's that struggle. I think a lot of women and a lot of people can relate to that when you have children, is that you want to be the best for them. You never want to, you protect them from what you're going through. And because Anthony and Judy, because she had him so young at 16, they kind of grew up together. And so it was important for me to show that side of being a mother, I think, is like how difficult things can be sometimes that you have to protect your children from.
And Jennifer, people in Venezuela love you. Could you invite them not to miss Unstoppable?
Do not miss Unstoppable. It's una película para toda la familia.
Así es. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
for
much.
your time. And congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Every big college has seen you wrestle, and so far, Drexel's the only one that made the offer.
Have you heard from ASU? The best college wrestlers in the world go there. Anthony.
Hi, Jarrell. How are you?
Hey, Jorge, how you doing, man?
Great, thank you. Really excited to be talking to you. First, I want to congratulate you because this movie is really inspiring, and I want to know everything about it, but we only have 4 minutes, so I want to know a bit more about the process of working alongside with Anthony Robles, because his story is so inspiring, and I want to know if it felt a bit of a pressure to be working alongside him throughout the film, or if it was inspiring and very resourceful for you to work with him.
At first it was a bit of pressure, it's a lot of justice that has to be done, and I wanted to make sure this was as authentic as I could possibly make it. So, when you're meeting somebody, especially somebody real and somebody with, a heart and soul, you want to make sure you do it right. But the pressure went away immediately as soon as I got to know him. This became less of me being the actor playing a guy and more of a homie, a friend of mine, someone I can call a brother now. And most times when you're an actor doing a biopic, you have a YouTube video or a book to read or a meeting to have. But this time I got to spend months on end with him. So getting to see him in all these different situations and different environments, including with his family or with his friends or on the mat or even on a set, being my body double, it kind of informed a lot of their performance because I had endless information next to me.
And how about your training process? Were you familiar with the wrestling at all, or or how was it for you to train for this movie?
Yeah, that kicked my butt. That definitely was not the easiest thing I've ever done. I wasn't familiar with that level of wrestling and that style of wrestling, you know, collegiate wrestling. And it's also one thing to learn wrestling, but it's another thing to learn Anthony Robles' style of wrestling and getting on the mat and on the ground and almost, you know, using your hands as feet. And so it was tricky, just like teaching my body different things and pushing my body to certain limits that I hadn't done before. But again, I was coached by the best. You know, I was coached by Anthony himself, and his actual coach from college, Brian Stiff. So I had the best team around me, and it kind of made me feel safe and comfortable. And then having Anthony's approval along the way was that push I needed to keep going.
And of course, I want to know, how does it feel to have such a cool mom as Jennifer Lopez in this film?
Well, you know, soy dominicano. I'm from the Bronx too, so it meant a lot to me. You know, she's somebody who's a legend in my household, and we you know, the world loves you know, Jennifer, but specifically she spoke for us in the Bronx, so it was an honor to meet her. But I had to put that in a box immediately. You know, I'm like, I put the feelings away and get to work, and it was easy to do that with her because she was so focused.
Thank you, Jarrell. Thank you for your time. And again, congratulations for this film.
Thank you guys so much, Jorge. Have a good one.
You can show them that anything is possible.
Oh my God, is that guy missing a leg?
That's my son. What, you're not gonna cheer?
I used to be angry all the time, but I'm not angry anymore.
Impresionante esta historia de vida que ahora pasa a la gran pantalla, y además me encanta porque se dedica a la lucha libre, pero también es orador motivacional. De verdad que aplausos de pie para este gran campeón. Nos vamos a ir a una pausa. Al regreso, del mejor menú del entretenimiento. ¿En dónde? En Dos Platos. Ya venimos.